Good afternoon and welcome back to the second podcast of Prime of Midlife. Again, it's a Sunday afternoon and I have just pulled out my crochet because I thought, well, that would just be perfect. I could sit and natter away quite the thing and get some more crochet done. So, yeah, I hope your Sunday is going well. Here in Perthshire, we have had what they call amber warnings for the rain. There are a lot of flooded roads round about, a lot of roads closed, a lot of cars stuck on roads. So we just were not going out at all. Just staying in the house, keeping cosy, and doing bits and bobs that need done. I have decided to try and keep the £20 food budget going. Obviously, I didn't go out shopping today, so what I've done is taken it from my stores. You can see that on the other video. And what I have just done just now, there I was looking at bits and bobs that need to get tidied away in the house because I still have so much stuff from mum and dad's. I still have so much from the revenge procrastination, things that you should do that you don't because you're like, no, I deserve a rest, I'm doing nothing. And I found some Scentsy wax. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, Scentsy is like one of these multi-level marketing things. And Kathleen did it for a while before the cost of living increased the way it has, I have to say. So she sent me a message yesterday asking me to get her take a photograph of something in her room. So I went looking and it wasn't there. However, what I did find was a whole lot of Scentsy wax. So just a few minutes ago, I decided, right, I'm going to go and burn the Scentsy wax because there's no point in having a drawer full of them if you don't use them. So off I jolly well trotted, found an old burner that I still had. So it's on just now heating up with the wax that was still in it. And in about an hour or so, when it's melted and it's liquid, I'll go and clean it out and I'll put some different scented wax in. Because I think there's so many things that we have in the house that our parents have, grandparents have, etc. And we keep them for good. It's like, oh no, that's the good china. Or no, don't use the crystal glasses. For what? I mean, really, for what? If you're not using it, you're not getting the enjoyment out of it. What is the point? Because all that happens is you end up like I did with a 3-bedroom house of my parents that I had to empty, and I had to sell a lot of it. I sold the crystal wine glasses, I sold the fancy crockery that I wouldn't use. I kept some of the crystal glasses, the highball glasses, because I use them. They're now water glasses here, and they're lovely to drink out of. But they've been sitting in mum and dad's cupboard for years, never getting used. They used cheap, crappy glasses that didn't match or anything, and it's actually rather nice drinking out of a crystal glass. So that is my kind of thought for today, is that, we'll use up the Scentsy that we've got because apart from anything else, we need as much storage space as we can get in the house, as most people do. There's no point in having a drawer full of stuff that's just going to sit there and keep that drawer full and unusable for years when you could be using it. So I decided, as I say, that that's the Scentsy burner on. Well, heater, it doesn't burn, it's not a candle one, it's electric. But I decided, yeah, I'm going to use that. So, and I think possibly, just now that I'm thinking about it, I had a thought as had one of my scarves on last week, and when I was hanging it up today, I was like, I need to start looking at clothing for the for the cooler weather. Warmer weather, what am I like? Because it normally, well, it is. It's starting to cool down here now. Obviously, we've had all this rain over the last 24 hours. But yeah, it's going to be cool. I started last week. I had the thin long sleeved t-shirts on underneath my normal t-shirts for work just because it's getting cooler. So I'm going to need to do a stock take on my cardigans, my jumpers, my tops, see what's warmer, see what needs fixed, if anything. I need to look out my boots because Patrick got me waterproof boots last year that don't actually look like wellies. I'm quite pleased with that. So I need to get them back out again because had I had to go out today, that is exactly what I would have been wearing. But looking at where I work, it's beside a sort of stream burn thing, so I might just take them with me tomorrow in case I have to go through many puddles into work. So yeah, I need to start looking at that. I have kept a lot of my dad's stuff because he always got himself proper winter gear. He had salopettes, he had done skiing when he was at work with some of the younger guys. So he had salopettes, he had thermals for when he was working outside. And I have kept a lot of that. Certainly I've kept the 100% wool jumpers. So those are the sort of things that I need to get going. I mean, I remember years and years ago when we were out and about and I was a member of a custom car club. I was about the only female, but Dad was a mechanic, I knew about cars. And we all used to go out and about. And I remember about midnight one night, we're like, "What's legend?" Yeah. And we went up to Mum and Dad's house. And Dad thought this was fantastic. And he went round and he got everybody jumpers and jackets and everything. And we went sledging about midnight on a golf course down the side of a dam. It's complete madness. But it was so funny and it was so nice to just be able to go up to Mum and Dad's, and have everybody there, and Mum would put the kettle on for teas and coffees, and Dad would be away getting bits, and then I'd go and get my sledge that Dad had made me when I was a kid out of the shed, and sandpaper off the rust from the runners. So yeah, that's the sort of thing. So I have kept all that, all the cozy stuff for the just in case, although it doesn't seem to be as cold nowadays. There are still days of minuses, and I am not prepared to be a frozen cold person. I will be keeping myself cozy just because I can. But yeah, it's definitely something to think about is if you've got stuff you're not using, why? If you've got stuff you're keeping good, what's going to happen to it after you go? Is it worth keeping it? Or is it better to use it and enjoy it while you can? Because trust me, certainly here in the UK, the auction houses are full of silver cutlery collections, crockery, crystal glasses, because crystal glasses were huge in the 80s. Everyone got crystal glasses for engagement or wedding presents, crystal vases, anything like that. And the auction houses are just full of them. They can't get rid of them now. So yeah, it's definitely decor seems to have changed. Probably because we can't afford to be buying stuff that we don't need. Things like to go in a display cabinet. Very few people are looking for display cabinets nowadays, and certainly not to buy something rather expensive just to get looked at rather than used. So yeah, that is my thought on that. But I finished my wrist warmers. I'm all pleased about that. I think, if I'm correct, it was last year I started them. I did put the video up, so if anyone needs a pattern, there's a link to the video, or just search on my videos and put in wrist warmers and you'll find it, and it tells you, how many stitches, etc., etc. So now I've just got to finish this shawl, which is going to take me ages, because I did the very first shawl I did, oh my goodness, I used really huge needles, And to get it long enough at the back for the pointy bit to cover my bum, the wings, the bits that came down the front, they like were dragging on the floor because I had used this huge crochet needle. I had no clue what I was doing, but it kept me occupied when I needed something to keep me occupied. So now I make the shawls with a much smaller needle, especially this one is not, it's acrylic, it's not real wool. So for heat, I don't want there to be huge gaps. I want this to be quite a tight knit. So yeah, I will just keep going till I finish this one. Then I might do another one in wool. I have, if you see me wearing the dark purple one, it's actually proper wool. And I mean, you can tell by the difference in the weight that it's real wool. And you can tell by the difference in the heat. Trust me on that one. It keeps me very cozy. The other thing I'm looking at today, or I was looking at when I went upstairs to go and get the Scentsy burner, I saw my little hot water bottle that's in the shape of a sloth. I also have a Highland Cow one, but it's hidden because it will probably get given as a gift. But yeah, and I'm thinking, now there's a good point, Karen, because at the moment I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't have slippers on. I've just got a pair of fluffy socks. And my toes are getting a wee bitty cold. Do I want to put on the wood burner? And I'm like, no, because that's a waste of wood. It's not that cold yet. So what you could do is I could just get a blankie and put it over my legs and tuck my feet in. And that would keep me cozy, you see. And then I wouldn't need to be putting on the electric heater or putting on the wood burner, and that would save me money. See, because as it gets colder, obviously, we start looking to put heat on, which costs us money. And I want to be saving as much money as I possibly can at the moment, which means don't put the heating on just now. Also, the fact that I need to bulk up my wood pile. My wood stock is sadly lacking. So I need to try and get that bulked up. I feel a visit to the local joiner's skip, which I have permission to do, and I now have my little baby chainsaw. I had thought about doing it this weekend, but obviously with rain for like 24 hours and also feeling rubbish, that was never going to happen. But yeah, I need to stock up my wood piles. So really, on days like this when it's a bit chilly, not actually proper cold, just a bit chilly, that's the days where you start checking out your blankets. Which blankies are warm, which blankies tuck around your feet better, what socks are better, what cardigans are better, because I think I've got one proper woolen cardigan, the rest are all acrylic. So I might have to do something about that. I might actually have to learn how to knit something that I can wear. I think I might do, what is it, the beetle shell cardigan or something, where you just do a whole big square and then sew it in the middle. I did try that once, but I made it too big, like by twice as big as it should have been. So I'll see about that, because I have the real wool here, but I'm loath to start something that I might actually have to, use the wool, and if I get it wrong, that's not going to be good. Well, what have I done here? Oh, there we go. I could not find the end stitch there for the shawl. Have I got? I've got another stitch to find. That's why it took me so long to find it. Yeah, this crochet lark. I'm not very good at it, I have to say. There we go. There's the last stitch in that row. And I forgot to wind the wool over. Oh my goodness, you numpty. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Let's try that again. Okay, so this is the last stitch in the row. There we go, done. So, yeah. So that is what I have been up to. As if you've been watching the videos, you'll see that I was feeling absolutely awful on Friday. to the point of I came home from work early. I was sitting there thinking, I'm feeling a bit iffy, and it was about 3:45. Mandy's like, you okay? I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. And about 10-15 minutes later, you know that when you think you're going to be sick and your skin sort of goes all cold? Yeah, that's what happened to me. So I literally flew out the door, and just came straight home and pretty much went to bed, and then got up and sat and did not an awful lot. So yeah, that is what happened on Friday. And I basically did not eat much yesterday or today or anything. As you can tell, I've put down the crochet, so it's probably louder now. Apologies for that. So yeah, that is what I have done this weekend, which is very little. Just because, bleh. And if you feel like that, it really does make sense to just try and take care of yourself, do whatever needs to be done. The cat has actually gone out because the rain is a bit less than it was earlier, so that's not so bad. And now I just need to work out what I'm having for my dinner tonight, if I'm actually going to have dinner, or if I'm just going to have a wee bit munch, because my stomach is still not loving me. Eating is not its friend. So we'll see what happens with that. And I'm looking out blankies for work now, because the heating is either a storage heater or an air fan, which means that your top half's warm enough, but your bottom half, like your feet, get a bit cold. So I need to work out what blankie I'm actually going to be happy to take out of the house and take to work, keep me cozy there. So yeah, that's about my day so far, or that's about my weekend. So thank you for listening. I do hope you have enjoyed the little inanities that I witter on a Sunday afternoon. I will go now, and I will catch you later.